Welcome to the Explainer. You ever wonder why some companies with these, absolutely brilliant strategies just fail, while others with what seem like really simple plans, they just knock it out of the park? Well, the secret is almost always in the engine room. So today, we're firing up the delivery engine, that powerful and frankly often overlooked machine that turns corporate strategy from a plan on paper into a reality in the market. Let's dive in. This quote just nails it. It perfectly captures the split. Think about it. Governance is the captain, up on the bridge with the map, deciding, okay, that's our destination. But the delivery engine? That's the gritty, powerful crew down below, sweating the details, making sure the propellers turn with absolute precision. It's that critical switch from deciding what to do to doing it. So what exactly is this engine? Well, it's not just about activity or, just being busy. It's a system. It's a whole set of disciplined practices. It's basically the machinery that takes a brilliant idea from a whiteboard and turns it into a real product on a shelf, or a service for a customer, or even a totally new, more efficient way of working. It's where strategy finally becomes tangible. Now, every engine needs fuel, right? And for our delivery engine, that fuel is the work itself. So the first question we got to ask is pretty simple. Where does all that work come from? How do we decide what this powerful engine should actually be building in the first place? The fuel comes straight from a process called Strategic Portfolio Management, or SPM for short. Think of this as the company's critical filtering process where it decides which big bets it's actually going to make. The projects that get the green light here, that's the high-octane fuel for our delivery engine. And this is so important because it ensures the engine isn't just spinning its wheels on random tasks, but is laser-focused on what actually matters to the strategy. It all starts at the very top, with governance. This group, they're looking at the grand strategy, and they're asking the most important question of all. Of all the things we could do, what are the absolute right things we must do? This is all about making some really tough choices and placing smart bets. And bam, once that bet is placed, a crucial handoff happens. The entire conversation shifts. It's no longer about, what should we do? The delivery engine roars to life with a brand new, crystal clear mandate. Okay, let's do these things and let's do them right. The time for debate is over. It is time for execution. All right, let's pop the hood and really look at the mechanics here. This isn't some simple one-piston motor. No, this is a sophisticated dual-action engine. And understanding how these two parts work together, well, that's the real secret to high-performance delivery. This slide just breaks it down perfectly. So on one side, we have value assurance. Think of this as the strategic brain. It's constantly asking, are we actually building the right thing? Is this really going to deliver the value we promised? It is all about the why. Then, on the other side, you have delivery assurance. This is the tactical masterclass in just getting things done. It's focused on that classic iron triangle: scope, time, and budget. This is all about the how. And here is the absolute critical insight. You have to master both. It's a total balancing act. See, if you only focus on delivery assurance, you might perfectly build a beautiful bridge that leads absolutely nowhere. Total waste. But if you only have value assurance, you have this grand vision for a bridge that never ever gets built. It takes both, working in perfect harmony to actually succeed. Okay, so we've got this powerful dual action engine. But who are the expert mechanics keeping it tuned up and running smoothly? And what does their dashboard even look like? This brings us to the final part of our tour, the crew, and the controls they use to keep everything on track. So meet the crew, the Modern Transformation Management Office, or PMO. Now, I want you to forget any old, dusty ideas of a PMO being some bureaucratic bottleneck. The modern PMO is like an expert pit crew in a Formula One race. They're not just tracking timelines. As you can see, they're setting the standards for everyone, they're coaching teams to get better, they're managing this incredibly complex roadmap of all the moving parts, and, most importantly, they're always looking ahead to manage risk. They're enablers, not gatekeepers. And that last point about risk, it's probably the single most important thing to get. The entire delivery engine, from top to bottom, is fundamentally a risk management machine. At the project level, it's about managing the risk of a timeline slipping. But at the program level, it's about managing the much, much bigger risk that, say, the business doesn't actually adopt the new tool, or that the promised benefits just never show up. It is a constant process of looking around the corner. So how in the world does the crew monitor all this in real time? Well, they use something that honestly sounds like it's straight out of science fiction, a digital twin. Forget static spreadsheets and charts that are outdated the second you print them. This is a living, breathing model of the entire delivery ecosystem. It pulls in live data from every single project, creating a real-time and even predictive view of the whole transformation. It is literally like having a crystal ball for your corporate strategy. And this is where it gets incredibly powerful. An executive can ask a really complex strategic question, just like this one. Show me which programs are at the highest risk of value leakage. And instead of waiting weeks for a team of analysts to crunch the numbers, the digital twin can instantly highlight the hotspots, which allows leaders to jump in and fix things right away. But it's not just about what's happening today. It's about tomorrow. Look at this next question. A leader can ask the digital twin to forecast a completion date based on the team's actual current speed. This is the difference between driving while looking in the rearview mirror and driving with a real-time GPS that predicts your arrival time and warns you about traffic ahead. It lets you make proactive course corrections, not just react to crises. That is a total game changer. So let's bring it all home. What are the 4 key things to remember about a high-performance delivery engine? 1, it only works on what the strategy selects. 2, it perfectly balances both value and delivery assurance. 3, it's run by an expert PMO crew. And 4, it's steered using a real-time digital twin. You get those 4 things right and you are well on your way. And that brings us to our final and maybe most crucial question. See, it's easy to have an engine that's just running. Making noise, burning fuel, creating the appearance of progress with tons of busy projects. But is that engine actually connected to the wheels? Is it driving the organization forward and creating real, tangible value? So the question I'll leave you with is this. In your organization, is the engine just making noise, or is it actually taking you somewhere you want to go?